What's up? So, this is gonna be another video diary because I wanna recap a little bit what's been going on. So I cut my hair again recently. It was getting a little long, needed a trim, went just a tad bit shorter than I intended or thought I was going, but I don't care. The quarter of an inch will grow soon enough. And I still have other colors that I want to do, so those will be done at some point. What's been happening? So, besides the recovery from my wisdom teeth removal surgery, um, my car's been breaking down a lot. It had some issues that we couldn't figure out exactly, and we just didn't particularly feel like taking it to a mechanic, so we just kind of were throwing parts at it. We're throwing parts. Eventually, we get one thing fixed, but something else is totally fucked. So, eventually we got that fixed too. It was my thermostat, and I got that fixed. But in the process, I broke my my fan switch. I broke my fan switch that sits in my thermostat housing. It was corroded in there, and I meant to grab the metal bit with the pliers because we didn't have a socket big enough to get it, but I just totally crushed it because I ended up grabbing the plastic instead of the metal bit that was actually corroded. But got all that fixed. Car's running again. Sometimes she still wants to act funny, but for the most part, she's running smoothly, so I'm taking it. I'm taking it and I'm running with it. And we're going. Where the fuck are we going? Don't know, but we'll find out when we get there. Other thing I've been doing a lot is reading. I've been reading a lot. I've read the original Hunger Games series, another book series of 3. I just read this one book in particular. I've been reading a lot of young adult books because I haven't allowed myself to read books with romantic elements in it without feeling shame of being like a little kid and like you're like this child stuff. And I'm like, I just turned 20. Damn. Let me read my little romantic fiction in peace. Damn. But that's not it either. I've read some other book. I can't remember what it is now. I don't have it. I've been using my local library, and that makes me really happy because I've never really gone to the library much before. But I'm like, I have a library card. I can check fucking books out. And what I did with that was I can also check out DVDs and stuff and audiobooks, and like they might have music too. I can't remember exactly. But it made me really happy because I was in the Hunger Games like hyper fixed. I was watching the movies, I was watching videos about like the movies, the books, the comparisons between the two, like in depth of the books. And there's 2 prequels, and I wanted to watch the newest movie, which is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which I finally got from the library, and I am very, 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 very excited to read it. Because the movie was good, but from what I've heard of other people who've read the book is that the books are always so much more in depth because you get so much more detail and context due to the inner monologues and whatnot. It's so fucking hot. I broke my mic earlier, and if I didn't, I would have my fan on right now and I would not be so hot, but I am incredibly so hot right now. Um, and I also got Fahrenheit 451. I've been wanting to read this. I've heard it's really, really good. I've been deep into the dystopia, into this dystopian genre. Anyway, shout out, my mindset has changed so much over the last like 4 or 5 years, and this is huge topic shift, but one of the like markers of that in particular is, so I used to have such bad anxiety about like specific events, specific things, like particularly it was, I live a county away from what was, they have now destroyed all of the things, but what was a nuclear stockpile of like mustard gas and whatnot at a local army depot. They've destroyed all of the stuff by now. I think it was like at the beginning of last year or this year, one of the two. Everything was finally destroyed, but until then, they just had shit stored underground. So, like, in schools, we were trained how to evacuate in case, like, the mustard gas leaked or something happened over there, and we had to, like, shelter in place and seal off all the doors and windows and air vents and stuff like that, and we would all be confined and trapped into this room because there was chemicals in the air. And, like, I used to have, specifically, it would be, like, anxiety at nighttime. It was always nighttime. And, like, I would freak out about that and getting bombed by, at the time, this was like 2017, give or take. This was the first Trump administration. I would literally like be having panic attacks because I thought we were gonna get bombed by North Korea. And like, I'm laughing now, but it actually scared the fuck out of me, like, so bad. That, and, you know, the gas leaks, and, also the zombie apocalypse. I have had a really big fear of that ever since I was a small kid. But those would be, like, really, I would have panic attacks at night a lot of the times because of it. I remember specifically, like, in the summer, I would have my windows open, or even if they weren't open, I would have my TV remote because I would always be watching TV before bed and stuff like that. But if I heard a plane or a vehicle or something, if I heard a noise outside, I was muting the TV, opening a window, and listening, because I was like, what the fuck is that? Is it a plane? Is it the sirens? Because we would have like specific sirens for the shelter in place stuff. And like, I was so alert all the fucking time and stuff like that. And I remember one time in particular, like, it was so bad. Like, I literally had a panic attack. I was screaming, crying. My dad came upstairs, like, what the fuck is wrong? What happened? What, are you okay? He was confused. I was panicking. It was a little bit of a mess. Afterwards, we talked, and I was talking to my best friend at the time on the phone, and they were like, breaking it down logistically for me. They were like, the statistical probability that that is happening is so low. We are more likely to get bombed by Russia or something. And, like, we have more nuclear weapons, stuff like that. Because the thing is, when it comes to, like, getting nuked, my biggest fear is dying a slow death of radiation poisoning. That's what I'm so scared of. Like, if I get killed in the initial blast and get, like, incinerated, that would be preferred. Like, I don't want to, I don't think anybody wants a slow, excruciating death. I don't think that's a thing that most people want. But anyways, back to now, you know, we've gotten ourselves involved with the war between Iran and Israel, which we were always involved, just never incredibly directly. Like, we literally bombed them last year, I think, under the Biden administration too, so. But anyways, I was laying here in bed one night a couple nights ago, and my brain tried to bring that old fear up. It was like, we're gonna get bombed. We've already bombed them. They've bombed us. Like, they bombed one of our mostly memorial bases in Qatar, where I don't think there was anybody at, with an advance, which is incredibly nice. Shout out. I don't think it's a hot take. I think it's a cognitive take. Personally, if we treated Iran with more respect as diplomatic leaders, then they would be much more willing to cooperate. But instead, Western powers have a, what's it called? I don't want to say like not an impulse, but almost an incentive to treat Middle Eastern and pretty much any foreign nations as if they are significantly lesser human beings than we are. And I quite frankly think it's really disgusting. It's one of the top problems that I have with this country. But I could make an entirely different video on the American Empire. Anyways, I was laying here in bed, and I was like, we're gonna get bombed. We're gonna get bombed. But then, finally, I was able to grab it, the rising panic within me, and I was able to grab it and be like, that's probably not going to happen. And even if it does, there's nothing that I can do about it. It's not like I'm in the fucking Oval Office. Like, what am I gonna do about it? I remember, I've had this dream twice now. I've had 2 dreams about bombs falling in my backyard. Crazy. I am very lucky that it's not happening to me like it is to other people in other parts of the world, because I can't even imagine how fucking horrifying it could be. Like, not even in my dreams, where it's, you know, terrifying, nightmarish. That shit's happening to people almost daily. And it's fucking, like, it's crazy. It's so crazy. Like, I don't understand how people can just throw away their humanity like that. I'm plotting on, I don't know. I think I'm going to keep that to myself for a bit and keep churning on it. But I got some ideas bubbling. I got some ideas brewing about kind of content that I want to make. I'm not for sure. I might keep my nose buried in books for a little bit before I really, you know, reshift my focus back to making more content, because it's really a thing that I'm like, I want to do this, and if I don't want to do it, I just won't. Because if I don't want to do it, then I'm not going to put the effort, and it's not going to have the passion behind it to give it some essence, some spark, some pizzazz. I don't want it to be fake, if that makes sense. But yeah, I've been reading, I've been doing some mechanical work on my car. What else? Well, that's about it. Rearranged my room a bit again. Not a lot, just a little bit. But yeah, I want to do shit, but I don't know what the fuck I want to do. It's so incredibly frustrating because I'm like, there's things that I want to do that I don't even know that I want to do yet. Like, there's so much stuff. Like, I don't know, like, it's so crazy. Because, like, sometimes I just want to, like, throttle my ADHD brain because I'm like, I want to be passionate about something. And then I say that, and then I become hyperfixed on something, and that's all I think about. It's all consuming. It takes up like 90% of my brain capacity. And that is quite literally something I am passionate about. But then, like, once I'm done with that, it's kind of gone. It's kind of gone. And I don't want to center myself around something that I know is going to be temporary. Like, I don't want to put myself in a box that I know I'm not going to stay in. So I don't know. I'm balling. I'm just kind of free balling. I've been thinking, so I sold my Xbox months ago, and I will say, the games that I've really been missing are Diablo. I played Diablo 3. I played a little bit of Diablo 4 on the Steam Deck, which was fucking awesome. I love Steam Decks. I would love to get a Steam Deck. I will one day. Diablo, Fallout 4. I didn't play much in New Vegas, honestly. I didn't get that far into it. Excuse me. And then Dead by Daylight. I love Dead by Daylight. I love that game so much. I've really been missing them. I'd say that's my biggest regrets about selling my Xbox is those 3 games that I can't play them. But I gotta, like, get a computer or some shit. Because I want to stream again. And, like, seriously low-key, to be honest. Because I've streamed before on Twitch. I've streamed a couple of times. That was when I had my Xbox. So, there wasn't a face cam or anything. Pretty shitty quality headset. that I got during Prime Day one year. But no, I love to stream like from a fucking computer, because I'm sure I could stream from my phone. I could stream from my phone, but then I'm like, okay, what the fuck am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I gotta figure out something to do, to film, to stream. I'm already having a hard time doing that with YouTube videos. What the fuck am I gonna stream? Because I will say one of the like benefactors of streaming is being able to have that back and forth conversation, which is why I like podcasts, because us another thing. This is okay. So looks like I'm not going to keep quiet on what I'm plotting on. Podcasts. I fuck with podcasts, and I fuck with podcasts heavy. And sure, I can make a single person podcast, but I'm like, that's pretty much my video diaries. That's what I do. I pretty much have my own one person podcast. Like, because I don't want it to be structured around particularly anything, like one thing in particular. So, it's, fuck it, it's me, it's my podcast. That's all. That's it. That's all I got going. So, yeah, so I'm like, what am I gonna stream? That's why I don't want particularly to stream from my phone, because I don't know. I don't have ideas coming to me that I would like to stream. The only thing I can think of streaming is video games, and that makes me so frustrated, because like I'd stream the fuck out of Dead by Daylight. I like the video games I want to play. I would love to play Diablo on PC. I feel like Fallout would be hard on PC, but people do it all the time, so whatever. First time I ever played Fortnite on DC, I got a W. DC? I was thinking of the word W when I was saying PC. That's how I end up switching my sections of my words around sometimes, because I'm thinking of what I want to say as I'm saying like the words that I already previously thought. So my brain is always a couple steps of my head ahead of my mouth. My brain is a couple steps of my head. Put it on a poster. So yeah, that's sort of an update. I think I'm gonna end it here and maybe go read a book, because I've been like doom scrolling all motherfucking day. No, I baked today. Today I made some lemon bars. I've been baking a lot too. Because one, sweets equals dopamine, and two, it gives me something to do. I really like baking. I'm not a fan of cooking. I can when I have a meal that I know I want to make, and I am happy with making said meal. But other than that, I'm just like, fuck it. Fuck it. That's it. That's all I gotta say. I'm just generally unhappy with that. But, you know, cooking is really, I have a love-hate relationship with sometimes. But baking, man, I'm not always down to bake. But most of the time, I'm down to bake something. So, that's what I've been doing. I made sugar cookies from scratch like last week or 2 weeks ago. And then it was last week. I made some sugar cookies from scratch last week. And then today I made some lemon bars also from scratch. Thank you, Cutie Cinderella, for the recipes. But other than baking, I've pretty much been doom scrolling all day. And it's getting bad. Because, fuck, I hate when I do that sometimes. But, like, I feel like I can't stop. What I mean by that is I get into the habits where I am hyperfixated and I'm dopamine chasing. Like, it's bad. I binge read the 3 Hunger Games books in 3 days. 1 book a day. Because I only checked out 1 book at a time. So then I would finish that book and then have to go to bed and wake up the next day, go to the library and get the next book. And then I'd finish that book in that day, and then I'd have to go to bed because it'd be nighttime, and then go get the next book. So when I get sucked in, I am all fucking in. Like, I will pull all-nighters to finish books because I am so entranced in them. And so, like, my screen time on my phone for last week is, like, low as shit. Super fucking low. And then it's like, this week you're up 14% on your screen time. And I'm like, I know. It's because I'm not binge reading books anymore. Because I've read, and then I immediately switched to a different book series, and then I was binge reading those books too, and then there's only 3 of those, and then I finally, like, switched over, but I wasn't able to go to the library for a few days, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry if this seated position is unsettling to anybody. I don't care. It is so incredibly fucking hot. I could not sit with my legs like that anymore. They're so sweaty. I am starting to become increasingly more upset longer I sit here without my fan on. So I will wrap this up. But book binge for like a week and a half. I finally stopped that, and I take a break and watch some YouTube, watch some content, and then now I'm stuck in the fucking content because I'm like, I don't want to go back to reading. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Me, when I literally hyperfixate on something, suck the dopamine out of that particular thing, and then move on. And then it's a vicious cycle. But I'm like, I know this thing will give me dopamine. Why don't I do that? My brain's like, no. No. That's it. You don't get an elaboration. No. That thing that you really like is gross as fuck. Do not touch it again with a 10-foot pole. And so, like, my brain makes me dislike things that make me happy once I've moved on from it. And it's really fucking upsetting. Because I lose so much of the little joys that I used to have. But you know what? That's the thing. That's where embracing change and the impermanence of everything really has a chance to shine, because it gives me an opportunity to find joy and pleasure in smaller things that I probably wouldn't have noticed before. So yeah, that's what's up. That's what's happening. That's what's going on over here. That's what's turning in my dome, my chrome dome. Yeah. I'll see you guys later.